Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the Civic Center here in Pensacola, Florida, where tonight Square Ring Incorporated, along with your undisputed, undefeated king of beers, Budweiser, this Bud's for you, present 12 rounds of boxing for the Super Middleweight Championship of the World. This bout is sanctioned by the International Boxing Federation, President Robert W. Lee, and the Florida State Boxing Commission, Chairman Dr. Jack Gugino, Vice Chairman Alvin Goodman, who will also supervise at ringside for the IBF, Commissioners Terry James, Eric Riley, and Alito Wallman, Executive Director Don Hazelton. The three judges scoring this bout on a 10-point must system will be Dave McCullough, Gary Merritt, and Bill Ray. And when the bell rings, the third man in the ring in charge of the action, Brian Gary. Now at this time, let's meet the fighters. Introducing first, in the blue corner, wearing red trimmed with gold and weighing 165 3/4 pounds. He comes into this ring tonight as a veteran of 44 professional bouts and has compiled a record of 37 victories against 6 defeats with 1 draw. 26 of those victories were over early by knockouts. Ladies and gentlemen, from Glassboro, New Jersey, introducing the challenger and #1 ranked super middleweight contender in the world, the punch-in postman, Toni Tornton. And his opponent across the ring in the red corner, wearing aqua and weighing in at 167 1/2 pounds. In 1988, he was voted the Olympic Games most outstanding boxer. He captured a silver medal, and since turning professional, he has 2 world title belts and a perfect record of 29-0. His punching power has earned him 25 knockouts, 15 KOs in 3 rounds or less, 6 KOs in the very first round, and he is considered by many to be, pound for pound, the best fighter in the world today. Ladies and gentlemen, from Pensacola, Florida, presenting the undefeated super middleweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
All right, Rody, go it. All right, gentlemen, I'll be the third man in the ring with you this evening in charge of this IBF World title bout at all times. Avoid the use of your head as a weapon. No rabbit punches, kidney blows, or low blows. If you score a knockdown, go to the neutral corner and don't come out till I signal. Protect yourself at all times. Shake hands. Come out boxing at the bell.
And now, boxing fans, are you ready? Pensacola, Florida, are you ready? There's only one thing left to do. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
You said, Jim, that Thornton was a very honest, straightforward man, and he is. And when we asked him, well, how do you beat a Roy Jones? He said, you tell me. Well, now he's got to tell us.
He said very candidly in a pre-fight press briefing, it would be bogus to say I can outbox the guy. How do you outbox him? You were questioning yesterday, George Foreman, whether Toни Thornton would make the kind of commitment, take the kind of chance necessary to have a chance against a guy like Jones.
When you're going to fight a Roy Jones, that kind of boxer, that kind of fighter, you got to risk it all. You can't even care about getting scratched, cut. You got to be determined. It may kill me, but I'm going to win this thing.
Get it up. Keep it up.
Has he made that kind of commitment? We'll see. And in the interview, it didn't seem like he made that kind of commitment at all.
Your hands are clean.
Roy Jones is in a strange situation here. He's expected to win, but you just can't do it dynamically against this kind of fight, this kind of fighter. You got to take your time. He's
when Jones fought against Antoine Bird here in March, he suspected he might have a shot at a first-round knockout, and he delivered it. We asked him if he would try for the same thing here tonight. He said, no chance. This isn't the kind of guy you would do that against.
This is probably the most solid fighter Roy Jones been in again. Not the best, but he's solid.
Since James Toney or including James Toney?
Including James Toney. James Toney is a great fighter, a good fighter, but he goes outside sometimes the laws of boxing. This guy stays within the realms of good self-defense. If you're going to get him, it's because you're going to have to go to the body a lot, then come up to the head. You're not going to get him with one shot.
Jones backing into the ropes twice here in the first round and giving Thornton a chance to dictate the action at close range. Jones has had a couple of those fluid combination throwing moments, but by and large, he's been sizing up Thornton, and Thornton has taken advantage of the opportunity to show off his solid technique. Hard left hook by Jones. Thornton protecting himself as Roy tries to come with another left hook.
Thornton is very solid. You finish doing what you're going to do, then he gets right back on you with his constant solid. I hit you now and then on the body, in the chest, on the arms.
Thornton works very hard all year round as a solid, well-conditioned fighter. Jones, with those unorthodox leaping, ducking, and diving moves, landing rights and lefts as the first round winds down. Jones turns around into a southpaw stance.
I counted 6 big punches that Jones threw and missed on Thornton in the last 15 or 20 seconds. But Thornton didn't have any response. What he's trying to do is crowd him, keep him busy.
And Jones stayed in the southpaw stance for the last 20 seconds of round 1.
Bring your overhead punches down a little bit. Don't hit him on top of the head. Hard up there, man. In between that shoulder and his chin. All right. That's good. Way to work. Way to work. Good? Okay, here you go. Lip, and you want to hit it, right? Don't go over top too much. Okay. Make him throw. See what I meant about those wide hooks that he throws? Bang, 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 bang. One right behind the other, but they're wide. 2 out of every 3 is a slap. 1 may be hard. Right? Go ahead and pull. We're good to go. His left eye got a little pocket in it.
Roy Jones is the hardest kind of fighter to fight because he's hard to hit and he hits hard.
Round 2 begins. Jones comes out in his conventional stance, back to the usual routine, and throwing the jab, something he didn't do against Toney in his most noteworthy performance.
Where most boxers practice and go out and do what they practice, sometimes their hands just automatically go. Roy Jones will not do anything unless he sees it. That makes him hard to hit because after he throws that punch, he's looking at your shoulder to make sure he's not going to get hit back.
And he has enormous confidence in his own intelligence. Roy is pretty convinced that he sees everything well in the ring and can think of what to do next. He doesn't look for answers. He thinks he has them.
Step back, gotcha.
Action slowing a little bit in round 2 as Thornton is reluctant to throw punches here.
Roy Jones is smart. He's starting to land some body punches too. Normally you won't see that in a good boxer, where he goes down to the body just in case I'm around here 12 rounds. I'm going to take some of this energy away from this guy.
This is more than a minute of conventional boxing for Jones, working behind the jab, and Thornton might not have thought he'd see it. Now Roy getting fancy as he bolo punches with the right hand. Thornton not quick enough to stop Jones's combinations, and now Thornton moves forward and momentarily stops Jones from punching by throwing his own.
Jones may get hurt, but he never loses focus. He stays focused, stays in the old orthodox stance. Why? Because you can only clown so much.
Oh! Low blow by Jones. Referee Brian Gary steps in and says, get him up.
All right, that's it. Keep it up.
Toни Tornton, according to punch stat numbers, has thrown 4 punches in the round. Now there are a couple of pawing lefts from Thornton. In his last fight against Vinny Pazienza, Roy Jones pitched a shutout in the 4th round, when for the first time in punch stat number history, Pazienza didn't land a punch in an entire round. It had never happened before.
Thornton was able to land one jab. Now to the outside observer, that means nothing. But hey, he had not been able to land one jab all night. Now he's got one in. Next time you get 2 in, and you're getting closer and closer to reaching Roy Jones.
You got to climb a mountain one hand at a time.
That's it, one punch at a time.
It was before the bell. It was before the bell. Thornton gets up easily to beat the 8 count. And now that's the end of round number 3.
Cannot be saved by the bell.
The
He was saved because he got up at the count of 8.
Yeah, the round ended. You're all right. The round ended. They gave him the count after the bell. The round ended. You all right? Put it down. Put it down.
A leaping left hand puts Thornton down, and let us remind you, he has never been knocked out.
I hope you're pulling back from it. You know better than that. Okay? You're pulling.
Here it is. Reflexes and power like this are rare to see. It's like seeing a combination ballet dancer and bouncer.
What a punch.
He puts no body into his punches either. All fist, like hands of stone.
But his shoulder gets into it. There's something
No,
unique.
it's all fist. He's got a hard he's got a good forearm there. Something. There's nothing in that but
Number 3.
fist power.
Do it.
Well, let's face it, he's unbelievably strong for 168 pounds. There's growing discussion about whether he can someday fight heavyweights.
Unbelievably strong is a good word.
Come on now, keep him up. Come on.
Jones in that round, 31 of 84, 37%. Thornton landed 5 of 18 punches in round 3. Or round 2, I should say. Thornton in trouble. Can't punch back.
Come on, Tony, gotta fire. Gotta fire, Tony. Gotta fire. That's it. That's it. That's it.
That'll do it.
All right, brother. Too much.
His shoulder hurt.
Too much.
The referee did him a good favor.
Thornton pointed to his left shoulder. He's had problems with his left arm in the past. Apparently, he threw it out.
Roy Jones utterly destroying an opponent who had never previously been knocked out in a 44-fight professional career.
And that looked like about a 44-punch combination in that last 10 or 12 seconds.
He was looking at every punch he threw. That's fantastic. Fantastic, because generally guys panic and start lunging forward. This guy kept looking and watching what he was doing.
Another memorable performance. The 30th win in a row, the 26th knockout for the man many regard as the best there is.
Well, in one sense, really, his only opponent right now is Pernell Whitaker in the pound-for-the-pound battle, and he has been winning more spectacularly in his recent fights.
If he steps up to the heavyweight, we better get another appointment.
Couldn't fire, all right.
Well, what do you think, George? Will he someday fight against heavyweights? I mean, he's talking about it. Not against guys like you. He admits that he could never go against somebody like you who would have a functional 30, 40, 50-pound weight advantage. But he's talking about maybe Tyson.
Yeah, he's got the same thing Tyson has going from quickness, speed, and power. He puts on another, what, 45, 50 pounds of muscle. I wouldn't want him. Everybody else better watch out.
Well, actually, who do you want? But then again, that's another discussion.
This guy beat a good fighter tonight, a good, solid fighter.
Excellent. Yeah, a guy who wasn't going to give anything away. Right now, let's go up to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the official particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Brian Gary calls a halt to the bout. The official time, 2 minutes. Pardon me, 45 seconds. That's 45 seconds of round number 3. the winner, victory number 30. He is still the undefeated super middleweight